Patito. Allah wasa la mo moha. Bonjour. Ah, Anglais. I am Jonah Eaton. This is the Great Goose. My dog is about. Neither I am very long without, if ever. If people were to describe me to you, they would say that I am eccentric, overly honest, brave, a very capable man, unlucky in love, and savage. But for you to know me better, let me, Jonah Eaton, give you an account of my life. I was born in 1735 in the colony of New Jersey. As a youngin', my family removed to the colony of Pennsylvania. In 1750, about the age of 15, I was hunting outside Fort Bedford when I was captured by Iroquois band. I was taken captive north to the Prescal in Pennsylvania. There I was treated kindly, and I was looked upon with pleasure, for they were impressed by my woodland skills, and I adapted well to their way of life. In July of 1755, the French commandant requested that all of his native Indian allies be called into service against General Braddock. So I was called into service with my red brothers to the Battle of Braddock's defeat. I was again called into service with my red brother to make my tomahawk red when our French father asked us to join him in defending Fort Duquesne. We fought well until November 25th, when our French father decided to vacate the fort. And that was there that I was transferred to a band of Shawnee. With my Shawnee brother, I was transferred to the Ohio Territory. With my Shawnee family, I was looked upon favorably. So much so that I was adopted into the family of Chief Red Hawk as one of his very own, for he was impressed by my skills in adoption of my red family's ways. My journeys with my red father took me from the Ohio River in the south to the lakes in the north. And I drifted in the lifestyle of my red family until 1763, when General Bouquet won his victory and secured the release of all white captives and assured their return. I loved my Red family, but this release I welcomed. For while I lived with my Red father, my Red brothers betrayed me and murdered my best white brother from my youth. This blackened my heart. Not forgiving the murderous actions of my Red brother, I sought revenge, and in 1774, my lust for revenge turned into action when I enlisted with General Dunsmore at the Battle of Point Pleasant. Revenge still in my heart for the betrayal. I served as a guide for General George Rogers Clark at the Battle of Piqua in 1780. And it was here that my revenge had eased. From there, I roamed and hunted and lived in the ways of my Red family. I roamed and hunted in this manner and traveled to southern Ohio and into Kentucky until 1783. I found myself in 1784 at Fort Pitt. It was there that I met General Butler, and he enlisted me as an interpreter to the Treaty of Fort Stanwix with Red Jacket and Corn Planter. I was again engaged as a translator for in 1786 at the Treaty of Fort Finney at the mouth of the Great Miami between General Butler, General Clark, Samuel Parton, with the Delawares, Wyandots, and Shawnee. This treaty relinquished all Indian lands east and south of the Great Miami. When the Northwest Territory opened up, I met Colonel Richard Anderson, who enlisted me to create maps. So I again enjoyed the ways of my Red family, and I drifted and roamed, making maps. In 1787, I ventured into Kentucky to Louisville and rejoined Colonel Anderson and engaged in surveying and again map making. For I was well known for my skills at making maps. For my services, I was deeded Survey 1732 on Anderson's Fork, which empties into Caesars Creek at New Burlington out of Greene County. My survey was substantial, of 40,000 acres. While I was in Louisville, I met a lass who turned my heart from the red way. She won my heart, and I married her. But this did not last long, for I soon learned that my bride had betrayed and duped me. Betrayed by both my red brothers and my white brothers, I sought solitude. And I returned to my wilderness and my Indian way that I knew, that I loved, that I trusted. And on that I will speak no more. So I returned to my frontier, here in Ohio. And I spent my days hunting and trapping, as my red brothers taught me. In August of 1791, I ventured to Kentucky and served once again with General John Bowman at the Battle of Old Town on the Little Miami. As I aged in my years, I settled on survey number 57, and I prepared myself an unusual house, a tree house, a true tree house. My tree house is located on a small valley through which a stream runs, which ultimately joined the waters of Caesar's Creek. And in your day now bears my name, Jonah's Run. My dwelling consists of a hollow sycamore tree of extraordinary size. 2 trees joined as one. 2 trees joined as one to a height of about 7 feet, where they continue to ascend into 2 separate trunks. My tree house overlooks a valley of sycamore, oak, elm, all covered in wild grape. My house, located on the north bank, protected from cold, wintry blasts. Its entrance from the west stands but 3 feet from the ground. I fashioned from a solid hewn piece of timber a door which may be barred from the inside. The interior of my house is yet 10 feet by 7 feet. Its height at its lowest is 5 feet, and at its greatest is 7 feet. I sometime later, wishing for a spot to repose from time to time, added to my house with pole and bark and created a spot to repose, a porch, if you say. Here, I lived in relative peace and solitude, for I am frequently visited by people seeking advice on buying plots or surveys. Until about 1810, when the territory became too crowded for my own liking, and I, aged too many years, with no family of my own. I hence returned to whence I came to finish out my days. Salah no ki, Niaway. Thank you.